What's new, girl? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Cassandra, and today we are tackling kids snacks. I have to get stuff made for lunch boxes specifically. If you're new here, we try to avoid as much like store-bought things as possible, so I typically will make all of our like little treats and stuff to put in lunches, and we use those for snacks for the kids. We have these fancy smancy jars and a shelf up in our kitchen that usually holds kids snacks, and all three of our jars are empty right now, and they have been for the last week or so, which is terrible. So I'm going to be working in stages this afternoon. My school-aged kids are off at school now. It's just me with the two youngest ones. My 3-month-old has been the queen of cat naps lately, so I was waiting for her to take a nap so I could start cooking. She fell asleep and she already woke back up. It's in like 2 minutes. So I think there's gonna be a lot of starting and stopping today, which is fine. It's just gonna be the way that things are today. So I want to start with something super easy, which is just pancake chocolate chip muffins. I'm gonna grab my little muffin tray. I'm gonna grab my pancake mix and my miniature chocolate chips. Basically all I'm gonna do is mix together pancake mix, throw in the chocolate chips, and bake them in the oven at 350 for probably like 8 minutes or so until my muffins are done. And these are just like those little bites muffins that kids are obsessed with. My kids love these. Sometimes I put in like holiday sprinkles if we're close to a holiday. Blueberries, my kids really like blueberries too on them. You could do nuts if your kids like nuts, but my kids really like chocolate chips, so that's what I'm gonna do, and it'll be one thing super done, out of the way, easy. So let's start with that. I'm actually gonna mix my pancake batter right in my measuring cup so I can just dump it into the muffin tins, and I don't have to use like a bowl or a spatula or anything like that. I'm just gonna drizzle some olive oil on my pan. I'm just gonna take my fingers and kind of spread it around each muffin tin. It is the gloomiest, nastiest day outside. It's like one of our first spring days that we've had. So because we still have snow on the ground and it's warmer today, and by warmer I mean it's like 70, or I mean 70, I wish, 37 degrees, which is still not that warm, but it's warm enough where we have this huge thick fog and it's just like gross and yucky. So I don't really feel too hot today. Like, I'm sluggish, I don't want to do anything, so I'm like really forcing myself to get up and be productive today. Pancake mix and our miniature chocolate chips. This is really, really, really simple. So all I'm gonna do is dump in my pancake mix in here. I don't measure anything, you guys. Some of you guys ask for measurements. I'm sorry, I'm a dump and go kind of person. So I'm gonna do that. I like to throw in just a little bit of vanilla extract in ours. You could also throw in cinnamon if you wanted to and do like a cinnamon muffin. That would probably be amazing. Little applesauce. But then I just mix it up as just like this. And then I'll start pouring it in my muffin tins, and then I'll add a little bit of chocolate chips into each individual container.
What hiccups? Oh God! Oh, remember, I have.
You want some of those?
Yeah, but you put them in the bowl for me.
So I can actually already hear Cleo starting to fuss a little bit, so I'm gonna really hurry up and try to get these in the oven at least before she decides that she's gonna need me. Hang on, buddy. The thing that I really like about this is you can do 1 row chocolate chips, 1 row blueberries, you can put raspberries, really whatever you want. So you could really get a lot of different product with not a lot of time. And these also freeze really well too. If you wanted to make like 100 muffins at a time and then just put some in the freezer. I've done that before. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do here pretty quick, just so that I have something really easy to pull out when I need it for times like now where I just don't have anything for the kids to just grab. We're also coming right off of spring break though, and I think that's another reason why we just went through so much stuff during spring break, because the kids were home all day. And I did prep earlier this week on Sunday. I made some stuff for kids' lunches, but I made a batch of chocolate chip cookies and those were gone like the same day I made them. All right, these are gonna go in the oven, 350, just until they're done, usually about 8 minutes or so. Okay, so those are in the oven, which is perfect. And to be honest, I'm doing this kind of impromptu. I just realized that all of our things are empty. I'm gonna need stuff to put in lunch boxes tomorrow, so it's like, okay, now or never kind of a thing. So I don't really have too much of a plan. I think I might also quick throw together just, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is actually I'm gonna scroll Pinterest really, really quick and try to figure out something that I can make that's not gonna take a lot of time and be super simple. It's also really hard right now because I'm out of a lot of pantry staples that I would use to make things. Like I have no oats, I don't have any rice right now, nothing. We are running bare bones. I'm going to Sam's Club on Saturday. It's Wednesday right now, so I have a couple days yet. I just need to get through the next like 2 or 3 days or so. So let's see, hang on, I found a recipe. I'm gonna scroll through it and see if I have everything. It calls for M&Ms. I know I don't have M&Ms, but I could switch M&Ms out for chocolate chips and I think it would be fine. Nope, it calls for oats. Okay, backing out of that one. Okay, so I was going to make these cherry donut holes today and I've talked myself out of making them like 3 times, but you know what, I have everything for it. I need some snacks, so we're just gonna go ahead and do it really quick. The first thing I'm going to do is this recipe calls for 1 cup and 1/8 cup. What the heck is that? Jeez, I despise when recipes do that. Just give me a good number, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm gonna mix up a little over 1 cup of buttermilk. And how you do that is just by putting a little bit of something that's acidic in regular milk. So I'm going to use lemon juice because I have some right here. I'm gonna rinse this out and get a cup of milk in here and we're gonna make some buttermilk really quick. Okay, so I'm gonna put in a little over 1 cup of milk in my measuring cup here. And I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of lemon juice and then I'm gonna stir it and let it kind of ferment for a little bit. And this is going to give us buttermilk, which is awesome. So buttermilk is set aside. I need a quick run down to my storage shelf and grab some cherries that I have on the shelf down there as well. But before we do that, we're gonna mix together our dry ingredients, which is flour, baking powder, and sugar. So let's go ahead and grab those and start going. Okay, pushing some stuff to the side. All right, I've got our flour here. We're gonna put in 2 cups flour and 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and we're gonna give that a whiz.
What are you making, Mom?
These are gonna be little donuts.
What are donuts? You know, I love donuts.
You love donuts? Me too.
Yeah, I love donuts. Who
Okay.
got us those donuts?
We need 4
Mom,
teaspoons of baking
who got
powder.
that for us?
Daddy did.
Daddy did?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I know, so nice.
That's nice.
Okay, careful.
What got?
Okay, we need 2 tablespoons of sugar. This has been in my Pinterest list for probably 8 months and I've wanted to make it, so I guess today is just the day. Okay, I need to read the directions here really quick to figure out what exactly we're doing with what here. I ran downstairs and got our cherries here. My son's very excited, he loves cherries. I'm gonna open these up and chop up some of these. Okay, the recipe calls for 30 cherries. So I'm just gonna chop up a bunch of these. But while I'm doing this, I'm actually gonna get my Dutch oven up on the stove behind me and I'm gonna start melting down some Crisco. This recipe says to fry them in vegetable oil. I don't have any, so I'm just gonna use Crisco, which is what I fry all my donuts in anyway, so I think it'll be fine.
One out.
You're gonna get 1 cherry?
Yeah, I'm gonna get 1 cherry.
Okay, so to our buttermilk, I'm gonna dump in about 2 tablespoons of cherry juice. I'm gonna pop an egg in here as well. And I'm gonna melt about a 1/4 cup of butter and add that as well. And then we're gonna dump that mixture in with our dry ingredients and give that a whiz in the KitchenAid. And then I think I'm gonna have to take a second to tend to some of my children. I'm going to dump in our butter and then we're gonna dump this whole thing in with our dry ingredients. and then our batter will be ready. The Crisco is just about melted, which is awesome. And then we'll work on our glaze, which is just a little bit of heavy cream and some confectionery sugar. We're gonna whip that together until it makes a little bit like a paste, and we can drizzle that over our donuts. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this on, dump in our pink mixture. Oh, look how pretty those look. Oh, it smells fantastic. I'm gonna rinse this out again, that way we're only using one dish instead of like 100. These look awesome. And if these turn out really well and they're a hit, I'll probably put other things in this recipe too. I have my milk here, and I'm just gonna dump in my confectionery sugar. Like I said, I'm not a measure person, so I'm just gonna dump it in. Give her a spin here. And once our donuts are cooled, this will be the glaze that goes over the top of our donuts. So I'm looking for about 2.5 cups in here. So you just want to stir this until it's smooth. In the meantime, it looks like our Crisco is ready. It's starting to bubble, which tells me it's hot enough to fry. So I'm just gonna take a spoon and drop some right into our oil. I'm just gonna start dropping in a couple spoonfuls at a time here. And these donuts don't take long, but a couple minutes. If I can find the video where I make donuts, I will link it down below, like just traditional plain donuts. Those are really good. If I can find that video, I'll link it down below. This is the first time I'm trying like a specialty donut, so we'll see. They look, I mean, this batter looks beautiful, and that one that we did came out gorgeous, so we'll see. This is where I'm going to put the donuts when they come out, just prepping this while our oil is still coming to temperature. But this is just a sheet tray, or like a cookie sheet, paper towel, and then I put my cooling racks on top like this. That way when the donuts are done, I can put the donuts right onto the cooling rack, and then once they're cool, I can drizzle the glaze over it, and the excess glaze will drip down to the bottom, and then it'll make for easy cleanup because of the paper towels. Soak up the oil that's going to drip off and the glaze. So just really simple, but look how pretty that donut puffed up to be. Oh, so pretty. So I think this oil might be ready to start dropping in more donuts, so let's give that a try and hopefully this works out. So I started just dropping all the donuts in the Crisco, letting them go for a couple minutes until they were golden, flipping them and letting it go on the other side. So you're gonna see I'm in a different sweater. It's actually because my husband came home early this day. That's why this turned into a voiceover. He was chatting with me in the kitchen, but I tried on the sweater he got me. He brought me home a Diet Coke because he just loves me and knows what makes me happy. So we just finished off these donuts while him and I just kind of went back and forth talking in the kitchen. And it was really helpful because he was able to grab Cleo and kind of help with her while I finished these off. And they looked so perfect. They were yummy and delicious. And then I just kind of dumped the glaze over that we made together. I ended up using milk instead of heavy cream, and it worked just as well. These were delicious. Everybody really liked them. And I wish I would have had this recipe for Valentine's Day because they're just so pretty and pink. But these were a game changer. Everybody loved them. They were great in lunch boxes. They were great for breakfast. And I will definitely be making these again. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me and make some kids snacks. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And as always, I will catch you guys in another video. See ya.